What's up, guys? Christopher Lopez here at BeastBrotherhood.com, and in this video we're going to be covering how to create your own personal skeleton gym. Now, I call it a skeleton gym because it is the absolute bare bones of what you need in order to create a great home gym. Now, we are in my gym here in Jackson, New Jersey, and if you look around, we have gym stuff: sleds, power racks, plates, bars, kettlebells, dumbbells, bands, ropes, all kinds of cool stuff. But the best part of having a skeleton gym is that you don't need all that stuff. You just need a few basic pieces, which we're going to cover today. Now, by no means are any of them mandatory. You don't have to get everything that I'm going to show you today. Pick and choose what you think is going to work for you, or pick and choose what you think is going to take your training to the next level, and go with that. All right? All the stuff I'm going to show you today I have in my apartment. It's not going to cost you very much money, but it will allow you to get a good workout in no matter what time of day. And some of this stuff is very portable, so you can like take it with you if you're on vacation, throw it in the trunk of your car. I actually have a kettlebell and a couple dumbbells in my car, in my trunk, just in case, right? So first piece of equipment, before we dive in, just know that I'm gonna link all this stuff up for you guys down below so that you can know where to get it and know what we use here at my gym. All right, so that said, first piece of equipment is very important. I know I said none of this stuff is mandatory except for this one. This is probably one of my top 3 favorite pieces, and the reason is because it doesn't weigh anything. It costs less than 10 bucks. It makes any tough workout tougher and very portable. You can take it anywhere. The only problem is there's a learning curve to it. You got to learn how to do it, and it's the jump rope. Now, if you don't know how to jump rope, I suggest you learn, okay? Get a jump rope, get a good one, speed rope. This is a cable speed rope. You can use the leather rope. I've used leather ropes before. I have one in my gym bag now. But this one's just very light. It's very easy to take with you. But if you can't jump rope, if you don't know how, you need to learn. All right? And again, the reason why is because not only is it going to improve your conditioning and your cardio capacity and get your heart rate up and get you sweating, but it makes your weightlifting workouts tougher, because instead of sitting on the bench for 2 minutes, 3 minutes in between sets, if you're jumping rope for 30 seconds, and then you hit the weights again, your heart rate's elevated, the workout's gonna be much more intense and much tougher, okay? Especially if you're using the skeleton gym and you are just using dumbbells and kettlebells and you don't have access to bars and plates and you're not really using a ton of heavy weight, all right? So this is just one way to increase the intensity of your workouts, which increases results, improves fat loss, muscle building, strength, etc. Intensity is key. You guys hear me say that all the time. So jump rope is number 1. If you have to get one piece of equipment, get this one. All right? Jump rope is number 1. Next one is a suspension trainer. So this is just a set of straps with handles on it. There are plenty of name brand, very, very, very expensive suspension trainers out there. I will link up one for you guys that is middle of the road. But as long as you get a good one, which I'm going to share with you, that they last forever. You never have to buy another one for the rest of your life. But the cool thing about the suspension trainer is that it takes your body weight training to the next level. So if you're used to doing push-ups and pull-ups, or body weight rows, or you can even do arms on this, or a lot of ab exercises with body weight, it's going to spice things up a little bit, make the exercises tougher, using different angles and gravity. And you can do everything on this: core, chest, back, single leg row, single arm rows, single leg squats, arm exercises, shoulder. I mean, you name it, you can do it. The other cool thing about the suspension trainer is that it's very portable and versatile, and you can take it wherever you're going. If you're going on vacation, even if you're flying, you throw it in your luggage, and then you have a kind of a gym when you get to the hotel or the house you're staying in. Suspension trainer is another great piece of equipment to have. The third piece is resistance bands. Now, there are 2 types of resistance bands you usually see at gyms. The first one is this. It's a tube. It's like a band that's like tubular with clips on the end and a handle. The other type of band looks like a giant rubber band. You see people do assisted pull-ups with them. They're color-coded. If you're doing workouts at home, I would recommend these, because they're a little bit more versatile. You can adjust the weights a little bit better with these as well because of the clips in the handle. And because of the handles, you can mimic bar movements or dumbbell movements like rows and presses, etc. Couple cool things about these BodyLastix bands, which I'll link up for you as well. The first is that they have the weights on the clip, right? So this is a 5-pound band. I don't know if you can see that, 5 pounds. If you clip them all together, you actually increase the tension and the resistance you're going to be doing with your presses or your rows or your curls or whatever exercise you're doing. So it makes the workout tougher, really, really simple and easily, okay? Clips. The second cool thing is that when you buy a kit of BodyLastix bands, it comes with a ton of handles, anchors that you can put on trees, Velcro attachments, all kinds of cool stuff in order to make sure you have what you need to anchor the band safely and get the exercises done that you want to get done. All right, the last thing that's really cool about these is that they have a lifetime warranty. I'm pretty sure that they still do that. If the band breaks or snaps, which it actually won't snap because, another cool thing, it has a rope inside the band. So if the band frays or snaps, you're not actually going to whip yourself with the band or go flying backwards if you're doing rows. So they're snap-proof bands, excuse me. So, but if you break one, if one frays, or you know, the band breaks, the buckle comes off or whatever, which the buckles have never come off of these, they'll send you a new one. All you got to do is pay shipping. I'm pretty sure that they still have that policy, which is awesome. They stand by their product 100%, which is awesome. So that's the bands. And again, the bands, the cool thing with the bands is that it's variable resistance. So as you press, as you do your pressing movement, as you extend the arm, the band stretches, the resistance gets greater. So as you're approaching that contraction of your chest on a chest press or the contraction of your back on a row, it actually makes you contract harder because it's more resistance. It's pretty cool. But again, anything you could do with dumbbells or suspension trainer, you can do with bands. Another great tool to use. We got 2 more, and these are pretty important as well. These are weight-based. Now, there's going to come a point when you get really good at push-ups, or you get really good at pull-ups, or you get really good at bodyweight squats, and the only way to make the exercises tougher is to do more reps. So instead of doing 20 reps, you're doing 30. Doing more sets, so maybe instead of 5 sets, you're doing 6 or 7. Or slowing the rep speed down. So maybe instead of banging out push-ups really fast, on the way down to the floor, you're counting to 5. And then doing your press, push-up. Those are the 3 ways that you can make the exercises tougher. Other than that, the only other way is to increase the resistance, which is where we're going to jump into dumbbells and kettlebells. So dumbbells are a great piece of equipment to have at home because they're very versatile. And, you know, obviously they're weights, so they can get a little pricey with the shipping and whatnot. But you buy a good pair of dumbbells, you have them forever, you'll never need to buy another pair. All right, so the 2 weights I recommend for dumbbells based on your strength is 30s or 35s and 50s, okay? This is a 35, and the other option is 50-pound dumbbells. The reason being is because you don't want something that's too heavy to do all of your movements with. So you don't want a dumbbell that you can chest press or row, but you can't overhead press with. So 50 is a good weight for a lot of guys who are moderately strong. 35 is a good weight, or 30 is a good weight for guys who are just starting out, just getting back into lifting. But again, you don't want to be able to do a row, right? You don't want to be able to do a heavy row, and then you can't curl the weight, right? What are you going to do for biceps? So the key is to get a set of dumbbells that's that weighs a moderate amount of weight, so that you can do all of your movements. Depending on your strength level, will depend on whether I recommend 50s or 35s. You can always do a set of both, but you know, obviously you can start with 1 set. That's plenty. But again, 50s or 35s, great tool to use. And another big plus of the dumbbells, it doesn't take up a lot of room. You can tuck them under your bed. You put them in the corner in your garage. You know, put them in the closet. It's not like a bar and plates where it's going to take up a ton of space. And if you get the rubber ones, it's a little easier on the floor if you're training at home. The last piece of equipment is your kettlebell, right? So again, kettlebells, very versatile. Anything you can do with a kettlebell, you can do with a dumbbell, and vice versa. So if you're doing overhead presses, right? Or you're doing a bench press, or you're doing a row, you can do with a kettlebell, just like you can with a dumbbell. The difference is the weight distribution of the piece, right? So because it looks like a cannonball with a handle, when you press, your body has to adapt a little bit differently than it does with a dumbbell, where the center of gravity is different, right? The issue with kettlebells is that, a couple issues, right? is that they're more expensive than dumbbells. So if you have to choose between one or the other, I would go with dumbbells, okay? Because if you have to buy two 50-pound dumbbells, it's usually going to be cheaper than two 53-pound kettlebells. The other downside, well, it could be viewed as a plus as well, is that kettlebells, they're not 5-pound increments, all right? Kettlebells are in kilograms, so the increments are a little bit wider. But it can be viewed as a plus because you have to get, it forces you to get stronger, right? So if you're going from a 53-pound kettlebell to a 62-pound kettlebell, it almost forces you to get stronger in order to get that heavier weight. And then if you're going from a 62-pound kettlebell to a 70-pound kettlebell, again, it's a 10-pound jump, sometimes more. So, so give or take. So depending on what kettlebells you have access to is going to depend on how important it is to get stronger. Dumbbells usually a 5-pound increment, 5-pound jump in your weights. Again, kettlebells, like dumbbells, a 35 is good, which is 16 kilograms, or you could do a 53-pound kettlebell, which is 24 kilograms. Either one is a good starting weight. Again, I would recommend the weight of kettlebell based on your experience with it and based on how strong you are. You could do something in between those two if you want. If you have to choose between the two, dumbbells are the way to go, mainly because kettlebells have a learning curve. If you're not properly doing the exercises correctly, you can hurt yourself, hurt your lower back, etc. So dumbbells are a little bit safer, a little bit cheaper. If you can get both, but otherwise, shoot with the dumbbells. And dumbbells, again, you can buy in pairs cheaper than you can buy a pair of kettlebells. So those are the pieces of equipment, the 5 pieces of equipment that I recommend for your skeleton gym. Again, if you have access to a bar and plates, even better. But if you live in an apartment like me, it's out of the question. So when I train at home, it's usually kettlebells, dumbbells, jump rope, bands, and suspension trainer, any combination of those. I will link this stuff up for you guys down below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the Facebook group. And that's all I got, guys. On to the next module. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Hopefully it gave you a little bit of insight on how to build your home gym. And we'll see you guys in the next video.